Judge Dredd was not supposed to be a hero. He was a warning. A faceless symbol of a future where the law replaces humanity. But Hollywood took that warning and tried to sell it as an action figure. Here are 10 weird facts about Judge Dredd, 1995, where satire collided with spectacle, and the law lost. Fact 1. Judge Dredd was designed to make you uncomfortable. Judge Dredd debuted in 1977 in the British comic 2000 AD. He was not a power fantasy. He was satire called authoritarian enforcer meant to scare readers. You're not supposed to root for Dredd. You're supposed to recognize him as a warning sign. But when Hollywood stepped in, that fear got sanded down. The movie turns Dredd into someone you're meant to sympathize with, and once that happens, the satire collapses. Fact 2. The movie abandoned the system to tell a man's story. Early drafts focused on Judge Death, a villain who believes all life is a crime. That would have pushed the film into political horror. But Judge Death was deemed too expensive. So the movie pivots to Rico, Dredd's cloned brother. Now, the conflict is about a broken system. It's about personal betrayal. A man's story replaced a machine story. And creator John Weidner later said the film had nothing to do with Judge Dredd. Fact 3. The helmet coming off changed everything. In the comics, Dredd never removes his helmet. Ever. Because the mask erases the man. Hollywood could not accept that, especially with Sylvester Stallone. The face had to be seen. And once it is, Dredd stops being the law, and starts being just another action hero. The warning becomes a character arc, and the character stops being terrifying. Fact 4. The rating is shockingly toothless. Judge Dredd 1995 is rated R, but the violence feels strangely clean. Gunfights end quickly. Deaths happen off-screen. The camera pulls away just before it should hurt. Compare that to Dredd 2012, where violence has weight, consequence, and cruelty. The 1995 film did not lack action. It lacked discomfort. Fact 5. Rob Schneider was not just comic relief, he was the safety valve. Fergie exists to do one thing, make the world survivable. In the comics, Dredd does not need a partner. But the movie gives him a talkative sidekick to soften the tone. Schneider later claimed that during a fire tunnel stunt, Stallone had fire protection, and he did not. Same flames. Very different priorities. Suddenly the dystopia feels a little too real. Fact 6. This was almost an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. At one point, Arnold Schwarzenegger was considered for Dredd. Villains like Rico were eyed by Christopher Walken and Michael Ironside. Directors came and went. The tone never settled. By the time Stallone was locked in, the movie had already shed multiple identities. Judge Dredd was not built, it was assembled. Fact 7. The director drew Judge Dredd years before he filmed it. Danny Cannon was not just hired. He'd been obsessed with Dredd since the 1980s. In 1987, he entered a 2000 AD poster competition, imagining Harrison Ford as Dredd, with Ridley Scott directing. Years later, he's suddenly responsible for making it real. The dream caught up to him, and then got compromised. Fact 8. Mega City 1 was built in England and, despite looking like an American mega nightmare, Judge Dredd was filmed almost entirely in the UK at White. Shot at Shepperton Studios. Mega City 1 was constructed by British crews. Once you know that, you'll notice it. Actors hiding under helmets and armor. A British dystopia wearing an American accent. Fact 9. The world building is better than the story. Here's the irony. The movie struggles as an adaptation, but Mega City 1 is incredible. Crowded streets. Cold justice halls. Public trials staged like theater. The system feels inescapable. Even when the story stumbles, the city keeps judging everyone. Fact 10. Judge Dredd became a cult classic by failing loudly. The movie wasn't a box office disaster, but it wasn't the hit the studio needed. Critics mocked it. Fans argued over it. Then time did something strange. Once people stopped expecting real Dredd, the movie became rewatchable, quotable, weirdly lovable. Not because it got it right, but because it couldn't decide what it was. That confusion is its legacy. Judge Dredd wasn't meant to comfort you. It was meant to warn you. But when a warning gets softened, it turns into entertainment. If this movie still lives rent-free in your head, drop a comment and tell us why. This is Movixa, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.